Hello, friends, and happy Friday to one and all. How is everyone doing this weekend? Great to see so many folks here already. Really starting to fill up Paragon Piper. Good to see you. Ron H., Sean Punyi, Kilted Piper Steve, Shy Oak, Luke Reisner, Rick Spence, Scotty Dashboard. Great to see all you guys. It's great to see so many guys showing up early. I'm just glad you enjoy chatting, and it gives you an opportunity for that. Paul the Piper, hello Paul. Desert Pine Piper, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you, Jim. Happy early Halloween indeed, Paragon Piper. Cliff Higgins, Cogs and Sprockets. Good to see you. Luke Reisner, Kilted Piper Steve, Big Dave, Piper on the 45, Bona Piper, hello Christian, good to see you, buddy. Dude Rustica, how you doing, Steve? Parik Piper Skip, good to see you, Skip. CJP Pipe Rescue. Mark in Rhode Island, Chris Kahn. Lots of names going by here. Burley Nut Bob, Mr. Tolson, Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. Having some Thanksgiving Day blend. I'm guessing that's from last year. Andrew Ciliano. Ron Hardcrackers Ward, Tony 513, WKR Piper. Wow, quite a full house already. Good to see you guys. I'm really happy it's Friday. It's been a heck of a week, but it's over now, so that's good. I am enjoying another one of these Yingling Hershey chocolate porters. These are good, and if you can't get them, I'm sorry, but I'm going to enjoy them. And let's see, I've actually been. It's funny, I've smoked this pipe every Friday since I've gotten it. This is the Matches Tribute pipe. Every Friday morning, this is the pipe I pick up and I smoke it all day. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes I'll have it on Friday. Sometimes I'll just feel like I smoked it enough and I don't want to. Today, I just completely forgot about it. So I actually lit up my first bowl in this pipe while I was getting things ready here. So we're going to save that for later. Ooh, we don't drop it and break it. I've got my Lane Limited Crown Achievement pipe, nice little billiard, and I am going to be smoking some of this stuff, which I don't remember if I talked about this last time or not. It's 7LE Jupiter Antique Burley, very nice stuff. I did talk about this because I remember saying my friend Nick, Full Smoking Bar, put me onto it, and it's good stuff. I've pretty much been switching back and forth between this and Haunted Bookshop for the past several days. And you know, it's good quality burley, it's a good solid burley, and it's got that little bit of dark fire in it to just kind of give it a little kick, a little spiciness. And it's not noticeably topped, which is good because it's a McBaron product, and when they top their stuff, it tends to be a little bit bitey, in my opinion. If this was available in bulk, it would definitely be a daily smoke for me, but I'm not a big fan of having tins for something that's going to be in my rotation a lot. Unless, of course, it's Rustica, then I'll buy that up. Sorry, Steve. Let's see, who else do we have here? The Smooth Piper. Hello, Peter. Good to see you, buddy. Brian Quilty. Hello there. Tamper Tantrum. Yes, 7LE does make some fairly good stuff. Although I think it's actually McBaron. 7LE just slaps their name on it, but they're probably involved in the blending in some way. Sailor, hello there. Thanks for joining us from Houston. Boris the Piper, having some Amphora Burley in a 7LE Bruna 315 KS. 36 Fahrenheit on the balcony. Now it's getting chilly, Boris. Armchair Piper, hello there. Jack Kurtz, tomorrow is good time, huh? Boy, Jack, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me and stuff. I'm not even sure how to find you. So it's a shame we couldn't connect earlier. Why don't you give me a time? I've got your address, and I will figure out when I have to leave to get there at that time. Sorry, guys. Jack and I are we're planning to meet up tomorrow, and we haven't been able to get in touch, so we're gonna figure it out now. Oh, couch, that's terrible. Now the question is, did you just misstep, or did Ilva place it appropriately to fool you? Everett Young, yeah, it is all hype. I agree. Volunteer Piper, hello, my friend. How you doing tonight? Stephen Skip Kane. Ryan K, good to see you. Oh, so C&D's making the Jupiter Burley? That makes a lot of sense if that's the case. Pipes and Bees, hello there. Meerschaum Mountaineer, having some Captain Black Gold in a freehand. Sounds nice. Michael Case, Millennium and a Peterson 190. Oh, couch, hopefully. Well, you always have Ilva. Oh, the Amphora Burley is extremely good when you mix it. So two suggestions, Skip. I really like it 50-50 with... oh, no, wait, I'm thinking of the Kentucky. Sorry. But just about anything is good if you mix it 50-50 with Haunted Bookshop. And, of course, you could always toss some rustic in there. Volunteer Piper. So, if you didn't see at the opening there, Volunteer Piper's doing Halloween stories, and you definitely got to check them out. There's a link in the description here if you haven't seen them. And he's got a new cub he's breaking in, wants to know what tobacco. I always like the Carter Hall for that, but maybe some other folks got some ideas. What do you have at hand? JMZ 56, Sun Bear and the Friday Savinelli. So another person that was in the opening tonight, JMZ 56, just started making some videos, and he's got a great intro video up, and also has a nice Halloween story up. So check him out. His link is in the description as well. Smooth Piper's got some Granger and a Falcon. That's a nice combination, Peter. Eric S., this all sounds great except for the Burley part. Oh, Ron H., that sounds like it would be interesting. Pegasus mixed with Haunted Bookshop. Have not tried that. Haunted Pegasus Bookshop. Old Joe Krantz and a Cobb. That sounds good, Mr. Tolson. I like Pegasus. I think it's a good solid blend, but I just always... it's a little light for my tastes. Good flavor, but just would like a little bit more. I'm not going to throw it away, though. Oh no, Everett. Everett's running out of Haunted Bookshop. It's just a couple weeks away, and Eddie Gray does have tins. So if anybody's searching for it, that's an option. And I was thinking when he told me, so I put something on Instagram about the fact that I was running low on Haunted Bookshop. I'm not really running low on it. I've got tons of it. This thing was running low and I had to refill it. Sorry, there. And I pointed out that Smoking Pipes had it back ordered, and everybody has it back ordered right now. And Eddie commented that he had some tins available. And I don't like to buy it in tins, as I was just saying. I like to pretty much stick to bulks when I can, just because of the cost savings. But I'm supposed to be buying the Haunted Bookshop and smoking half of it and jarring half of it for my cellar. And as you well know, I have not exactly excelled at the jarring half of it side of things. And I was thinking after Eddie made that comment that maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe I should start buying 8 ounces of Haunted Bookshop bulk and an 8-ounce can, an 8-ounce tin. And this way the tin can just go directly into the cellar. I don't have to worry about it. I just put a date on it and it's done. I might start doing that. It's a bit more expensive, but I don't have to buy a jar. And I'm not going to smoke it. So until, the time comes when I'm ready to smoke it. Oh no, Steph, they bought Carter Hall Estate out from under you. Kilted Piper Steve found another newbie named Bass Piper. Well, we'll definitely have to check him out, Steve. Oh, Andrew, you're not even close. I've got 2 pounds in bags that I haven't put away yet. Yeah, Andrew, I've kept things in these tubs for a really long time. Years. And I've never had an issue with them. And I've done it with things like a Mixture 79, which does have a bit of humectant in it, but I've kept that for well over a year. And definitely Haunted Bookshop, I've been able to keep in there for quite some time. They're really remarkable. They seal up well, and they just work. Corvette Jim has solved the mystery of who bought Carter Hall. Now, Couch, I'm not that bad. I usually can. A pound lasts me about somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks, depending on how much I'm smoking. Yeah, Paragon Piper, I love that H&H Acadian. It's really good stuff. It reminds me a bit of the Galleth Cabby mixture. Not quite the same thing there either, but there's some similarities. Oh, Steve, that must have been a nice box opening there. 2 tubs of Carter Hall and a tub of Velvet and a tub of Sir Walter. Very nice. I've been toying with the idea of buying a tub of Sir Walter. I just have more than I need, though. I really have to start getting rid of some of this sort of random tobacco that's built up. before I start buying more tubs. Pipes, etc. How you doing, my friend? West Virginia Grizzly, hello there. I didn't keep track of the various blues and reds. What is the Haunted Bookshop blue, Steph? Do you know? Eric the Blue Collar Pipe Smoker, how you doing, buddy? And Reed Bender Bud, good to see you, bud. Wow, Eric, that sounds like a fun evening. Thanks for taking the time to say hello. Oh, they have... Okay, Steph, I misunderstood. I thought you said... Yeah, okay. Never mind. Doing fantastic, Eric. Yeah, Ryan S., that happens a lot. You just seem to randomly get unsubscribed to people. And I haven't found a solution to it other than when you realize you haven't heard from anyone in a while, it's worth checking. Oh, no problem, Steph. I just, because I do think they have a blue and a red. At least they have an old Joe Krantz blue and a red, so that's why I was confused. But yeah, the autocorrect is a pain. Oh, Odie, Eric's not that bad. He won't start trouble for at least another 5 minutes. Mr. Scripto, hello. Good to see you. There's a little fruit fly flying around down here, in case you see something buzzing by. I want you to think it's a ghost. Eric, yes. Oh, Ryan, that sounds like a great combination. How aged is it? Paul the Piper, did I miss you earlier? I'm sorry, we got so many people here, I'm having trouble keeping track. I'm old. Arkansas Mike, hello there. Nice, Ryan. Sure thing, Couch. As long as it's either acrylic or ebonite, that shouldn't be a problem. Behind me, it's carrying a melon. Paul, if you're trying to scare me, you're succeeding. This is true, Cliff. We are all old and getting older every day. Dance Dad Piper. How you doing, buddy? Sea Smoke Pipes. The agenda tonight is pretty much what you're experiencing right now. We don't have much of an agenda, although I might tell a dog story. I got one in mind. I know dog stories are somewhat popular. Oh, 5-year-old tin of Acadian Perique sounds really nice, Pipes and Bees. Storming in Nashville, huh? Sorry to hear that, Volunteer Piper. Hope it passes uneventfully. Oh, the fruit fella. Gotcha, Paul. Gotcha. Well, Couch, they can't all be 173s. The fly might be Vincent Price. You might be right, Michael. All briared up. Good to see you, buddy. Jack Kurtz, noon. Okay. And Jack, can I call you in the morning? Like if I give you a call around 9 a.m., would that be okay? Now see, Kilted Piper Steve is a smart man. He's just going to refuse to get any older. That's the way to do it. Okay, Steph and Skip Kane are doing their live tomorrow 2 hours later. So it's 12 Pacific, 1 Mountain, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, and 8-ish UK time. 2 hours? I thought you were usually on at 2 Eastern. Oh, it doesn't matter. So it'll be 3 Eastern, and you heard, yeah, well, you can see their comment there. But that's a great live. You definitely should check that out, guys, if you haven't. Cliff. So in terms of some upcoming stuff I wanted to talk about before I tell my dog story. Pipe Time says if you refuse to get older, you just die young. That's true. I don't know if that's good or bad. Jim's flying tomorrow. Where are you flying, Jim? Sorry if I missed it. So we got this Monday, I'm going to be premiering my annual Halloween video. And if you guys haven't seen a premiere before, it's kind of neat. So the video will be available beginning Monday night at 8 p.m. and into eternity. Well, probably not eternity, but you know what I mean. It's not going to get taken down by me. And if you can make it at 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday, you'll be able to join a live stream chat, well, a live stream like chat while the video plays. And it's kind of fun, you know, it just gives us a chance to chat about what's going on the screen. It's not interactive in that everything will be pre-recorded, but I will try to join the chat, and I'm sure other guys will be there too. And you can tell one another how lousy my Halloween video is, or whatever you want to say about it. And so I think this is a good one this year. It's a little bit different from what I've done in the past, so I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think of it. I just finished the bulk of the editing last night, and it was an effort. It's not easy putting these things together, but it's a lot of fun. The research is great, and then going out and finding all the pictures for it and everything. Really a lot of fun. So that's going to be Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and of course you can watch it anytime after that. Next Friday we're going to have ghost stories, and we're going to have ghost stories if it kills me and I become a ghost. We got a couple of guys lined up. I'm still looking for more folks that want to tell a ghost story, and this can be a personal ghost story, something that you actually experienced, or it can be something that you want to read. It doesn't even have to be a ghost story, just a creepy, Halloween type story. I've got a couple of guys, and I'd like to have one or two more, just because I know some guys may not be able to make it for various reasons. Things come up and all. And I'd like to make sure that we have at least 3 to 4 folks that are going to read the stories to, just to kind of fill up the time. So if any of you are interested, get in touch with me by email. That's canerodpiper@gmail.com. And it's nothing to worry about. We're going to use Zoom, I think. I'm still working out some bugs with that. But we're going to use Zoom, so you'll just have to connect to a Zoom call. Very easy to do. I can walk you through it. And then just be yourself, enjoy, read your story, or tell your story. You don't have to do video if you don't want to. It can be audio only. That's really up to you. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I am... you don't want to see my ghost costume, Tony. It's not even as good as a sheet with 2 holes in it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I might turn the lights down. We'll see how spooked I get. I'm sitting down here in the basement alone, but it'll be a fun time. So those are 2 things I'm really looking forward to right now: the annual Halloween video, and then ghost stories. Yeah, Paragon Piper. We're not talking about pipe ghosts. Well, it depends. If it's a haunted pipe, I guess we could talk about it. Yeah, Ron H. I saw that. I think it was might have been Mark in Rhode Island that brought that to my attention. And my wife tonight said that it's all the holiday movies. So all the Peanuts holiday stuff is now owned by Apple. And the only way to watch it is apparently to sell your soul to Apple. So fortunately, we have most of them on DVDs. Oh, Steph, that's fantastic. They're my kind of rebels. Yes, Little Fat Morgan, Haunted Bookshop does have Perique in it. Jeffers 58, hello, Prince Albert and a Country Gent. Sounds good. No problem, Volunteer Piper. I understand. Folks have things to do, and if it makes you feel better, you're not the only guy that thought he might be able to and wound up not being able to. And I understand it. And I appreciate folks just taking out the time to watch, let alone to actually prepare something to talk about, although you really don't have to prepare anything. Yeah, I wonder if Apple's actually going to make them pull the DVDs. Because you can buy them. I'm assuming you can still get them on Amazon. So I'm going to tell you my dog story, because I remembered this. I was talking to my wife the other day, and this story came up, and I said, "Oh, this is one I got to tell during a live stream, because I think you guys will enjoy it." Oh, Mr. Scripto, that sounds like quite a story. So, my wife and I were living, before we were married, we're living in Atlanta. Her family is from Pittsburgh. My family is from Philadelphia. So I went to school in Pittsburgh. That's where I met her. And then I got a job in Atlanta as a postdoc. And we lived in Atlanta for 5.5 years or so before we moved back up to Pennsylvania. But we moved down there for about a year before we were married, and then we had a wedding in Pittsburgh. So we had to, to make a long story short, at least in this part, we acquired a Beagle puppy. And it's the funniest thing. Every time my wife and I have gotten a dog, with one exception. So one time we had somebody come to us. We were in an apartment complex, and they said this dog was left in the dumpster, and it was this little puppy, and we took it in, and we wound up keeping that. But every other time we've ever gotten a dog, we've said, okay, we're going to go look at them, but we're not getting a dog today. We're just going to look. And the first dog we looked at, we got every single time. So, sorry about the squeaking chair there. So we went out one day. We decided we wanted a Beagle. We were living in an apartment. This was not the brightest thing I've ever done. But, Beagles are somewhat small, and we were both working, but our schedules were a bit staggered, and, plenty of grassy tree lands, what the heck am I talking about? Grassy areas with trees and things like that around the apartment complex, so we could take the dog for walks every night and all, and he was happy. So we got this Beagle, and I named him Buckley. And Buckley was a very smart dog. Beagles, if any of you have had Beagles, know that Beagles are not stupid dogs. And I see Charlie Brown and the Peanuts still going by. Snoopy, of course, was a Beagle, not a stupid dog. And I swear at times that this dog was smarter than I was. I'd see him go to do something, and I'd laugh and say, this stupid dog thinks he's going to, and then he did it. And this happened more times than I can count. So the dog was, the dog became a terror. He was very, very active. He was very smart, and he liked to work. He liked to go out and find rabbit trails and all that kind of stuff. And if we left him in the apartment while we were gone, we had no idea what we were going to be coming back to. We tried crating him. He found ways out of the crate. I said I was going to make a long story short here. So anyway, we had this Beagle, and we're going to get married. So I made the plans, and we decided, we had to decide whether we were going to kennel him, which he had never been kenneled, or if we were going to take him with us. And my wife's family always had dogs. They were okay with the dog coming along. So we said, okay, we'll take the dog from Atlanta up to Pittsburgh. We got these special puppy tranquilizers that you give the dog, and he zonked out in the back seat. And we drove from Atlanta up to Pittsburgh. I think we stopped at a hotel. It probably took 2 days. And brought him into the house, and he was great. Everybody loved him. He was a very friendly dog. There were some kids that he loved kids, and it was just, he was in his glory. He had friends, and people paying attention to him and fawning over him and everything. So he was having a big old time. Now, there's two things that were notable about this trip. Well, three things. I got married. I can't leave that out. But in terms of the dog, one is that the dog had never needed to climb steps. We were on a ground floor apartment. There were no steps in the apartment. He just simply didn't know what a step was. And we got to the front of my wife's parents' house, and there were steps. And he just stopped and looked up like, what am I supposed to do with this? So we picked him up and carried him in. And we thought, okay, that's great. We know that he's going to be confined to the ground floor of the house, and that's helpful. And I'll never forget this. I sat there on the sofa and I watched this dog. You know, everybody's off doing something or the other. He was laying down, and he just gets up and he walks over to the stairs going up to the bedrooms, and he looks at them for a while, and he looks over at me, and he realizes I'm not going to do anything. He looks at the stairs again, and he goes and he like puts his paws up, and then he backs down, and then he puts his paws up and backs down, and then he gets his whole body up on the first step and he backs down. And he kept doing this. He got to the point where he would go up 3 steps and come back down backwards, and then he got up 5 steps and he turned around and came down. And within about 15 minutes, this dog was climbing straight up the steps without stopping, turning around, coming back down again. He taught himself to climb steps in about 15 minutes. It was really cool to watch, you know, as somebody that's interested in behavior. It was just a neat thing. But that's not the main story that I want to tell. So to tell that story, I've got to tell you a little bit about my father-in-law. My father-in-law is a wonderful man. He's in his late 80s now, sharp as can be. Wonderful, kind-hearted person. He's a big steel worker. You know, he very imposing person. I remember when I first met him, because I was dating his daughter, he gave me the, extra squeeze with the handshake to try to intimidate me, and that was fun. But really nice guy once you get to know him, and extremely generous, but stubborn as can be. Really a stubborn man. And from the minute he sees the dog, that's a hunting dog. He should be out hunting. He should be out on rabbit trails. And I said, yeah, well, we take him for walks, but he's got to stay on his leash. He finds rabbit trails, and we let him follow them, but we keep him on the leash. No, he should be hunting. He should be a hunting dog. And I didn't hunt, so I had no opportunity to introduce him to that. So I'm going to take him into the woods. No, you can't do that, because he'll run away. He doesn't know how to return. He's always been on a leash. So he is absolutely convinced that he's going to take this dog into the woods and teach it how to hunt rabbits. Now, at the time, so this was 22 years ago, so I think he's 87 now, so he would have been 65. So he's in his prime. He could get around pretty good and all that. But he wasn't like he wasn't like a runner. He wasn't going to be able to chase after this dog. So I said, look, if you're going to take the dog into the woods, you have to take his leash. All right, I'll keep him on the leash. So we get up one morning, and it's like 8 o'clock, and mother-in-law's making breakfast, and we're sitting at the table, and I'm going to take that dog to the woods. And he gets up and he gets the leash, and he puts it on the dog, and he goes out the front door. And I said, okay, he's going to take the dog to the woods. So the woods were about maybe 2 to 3 city blocks away from where they lived. So he gets in his pickup truck with the dog, and he drives off, and we're having breakfast, and about 2 hours pass, and we're just talking about the fact that he's been gone for a while. And I said, I hope he kept the leash on the dog, and I don't know. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we hear a bang at the door. Not a knock, just a bang at the front door. They've got like an aluminum screen door on the front of the house. So what the heck's that? And my wife gets up and goes to the door, and she just collapses laughing. I go to see what's happening, and sitting on the sitting in front of the door, very calmly, is our Beagle, all by himself. And as soon as I saw him, I knew what had happened. My father-in-law left him off the leash, and he came home. He was really good at being able to track, and he knew, even though he had only been there a short time, and he had only been in that truck to go to where they were going, he was able to navigate his way back home. But of course, my father-in-law didn't understand that, and now he was in the woods looking for the dog that he lost, knowing that he was going to catch hell if he came home without it. So we had to go and take the dog in the car and go find the father-in-law. He'd probably still be out there looking for him if it wasn't for that. So, hope you enjoyed that. I thought of that the other day, and I thought that would be a good story to share with y'all. Yeah, Andrew, he was amazing like that. We lost him a couple of times walking him, where he'd get really excited and he'd pull out of his collar, and he was usually at the apartment door by the time we got home. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Yes, Volunteer Piper, they are loud, but man, they're great dogs. Kevin Beringer, don't need an Apple TV, it's a subscription. Yeah, but then I'd have to give money to Apple, and I won't do that. I see that, Big Dave. I'm sorry I interrupted the Peanuts ranting with my dog story. They are kilted Piper, Steve. They're extremely smart. I think they're similar, Tony. The Bloodhounds have they're more to the ground, and I think they've got a bigger surface area to capture the scent. And I remember reading that even the sort of flaps that they have, because they've got those jowls, help a lot. But they have similar tracking instincts and similar ability to follow trails. Couch, there's a lot of canine insanity in your family, huh? Yeah, Bona Piper, that's true. There's some fantastic stories about dogs finding their way home. No, Ron H., I'm just teasing. It's something that I would have expected to come up. It's a problem. Ass pipes, etc. I know you love dogs. Yeah, Paragon Piper, the Beagle would eat like crazy, and he'd eat anything. And I've got a whole list of stories about taking him to the emergency room because he ate something he wasn't supposed to. Things would just disappear, and I don't know that dog ever tasted food. You'd give him a treat and it was just gone. It just got vacuumed down his throat. I'm sorry, I'm really enjoying the peanut ranting. Hey, Artie, you got that right, dogs. I definitely have had dogs that I loved more than I love many people. And I felt like the feeling was mutual. That is cool, dude, Rustica. Beagle rescue. So rescuing beagles or using beagles to rescue people? I'll look forward to that, Couch. And by the way, Couch, you'll be happy to know that I'm going to be talking about dogs on Sunday during my weekend chat video. You dog lovers will enjoy this Sunday's chat. Gotcha, dude, Rustica. Yeah, that's wonderful work. There you go, Cogs and Sprockets. Your daughter is a smart woman. Ed 860, that's a great shirt. Yes, Steph. Artie's morning videos are awesome. They always get my day off to a good start. And Artie is gonna be on the live stream. I forget the date, Art, but looking forward to that. No, November 6th is going to be Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. Northern Fires, hello. You're never too late. All briared up. That I can see that happening. Michael Schenkel, doing fine. Good to see you. Yeah, Pits are Andrew. The dog that I was talking about that we got as a stray that somebody brought to us and said, this dog was left. He, as best we could tell, he was a mix between a black lab and a pit bull. And that dog was the sweetest, gentlest dog I've ever had. And that's the one I was thinking of when I said I love that dog more than I love a lot of people. He was wonderful. He was a fantastic companion, good watchdog. Would protect us, and just gentle as could be, and full of life. Happy dog. And I really learned a lot from him because I had the same worries about pit mixes, but he drove that away from me. Oh, Scotty, that's not right. Michael Case, there are dogs that love to swim. Probably still not a good idea to have one on a boat, but I've heard that about Bassett's, Everett. But of course, beagles are stubborn animals too. Really, Jim? I'm surprised to hear that about your lab pit mix, but yeah, I guess all dogs are different. Josh, I've wanted a Basset Hound since I saw Columbo with one. That's true, Shoreline Piper. The Beagles will not allow that to happen. Black Lab Bloodhound mix. Sounds very nice, Pipes, etc. So our current dogs, Thatcher and Isabel, are a mix of Golden Retriever and Coonhound. And they're also sisters, which makes life interesting. Great dogs. I love them to death. But man, they are high energy. And they they can find trouble, or trouble finds them. And they used to fight a lot, not like viciously fight, but like play fight. There was one day when I was out in the backyard with them, and we have this section of there's a couple of trees, and then there's like some brush around it, and I just kind of let it grow because I don't want to deal with it, but it's got some pretty flowers that grow in there and stuff, and I just leave it for privacy. But they figured out they could run around it, and they could also run into it, and they were pretty young at the time. And I was watching them, and they were just chasing one another around this thing like crazy, and running as fast as they could. And then one of them would dive into the center of it, and the other one would dive in after them. And this would cause the first one to run out, and they'd start running around it again. So the one dog dove into the shrubs, and the other dog started doing this thing where they would jump and like land on the shrubs and kind of ride down them and back up, because they were expecting this to drive the other dog out. Well, the first time they did this, the other dog came out the other side and ran like hell behind me. And I sat there and I watched the other dog jump into the shrubs again. And I looked down, and this dog is now sitting next to me watching, and we both sit there and watch this dog probably about 10 times do this dive into the shrubs, expecting the other one to pop out, until it finally turned around and gave us the most surprised look. Oh, blue ticks are beautiful dogs, Desert Pine Piper. That must have been interesting, Rick Spence. I'm sure the training of those dogs is very intensive. That sounds like the bloodline for a rabbit dog, Mr. Scripto. Yeah, Artie, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Skip. You have a good one. Have a great weekend, buddy. Jim. I take it that Jim's had enough dogs. Arkansas Mike, have a good one. Have a great weekend, buddy. Really, Michael? That's interesting. 50s TV show with Jackie Cooper, Nasser hound that would talk to the audience. Oh yeah, Dodgers up 3-0. I got to be honest, Pipes, etc. As much as I love baseball, I just could not get interested this year. But I never talked about my tamper tonight. I am using my baseball bat tamper from Larry Blackett, so I'm somewhat honoring the World Series. And I got to show you something. I just got this in the mail. I don't know if Jeff is still on or not, but you saw I had put up some information about Tamper Tantrum had some tampers. Some sort of a tongue twister there. And I was helping them out by letting folks know that they were available, and I saw this one and I thought, I can't let anyone else own this tamper. So, this came in the mail today. This is made of bloodwood, and I believe he calls the carving ziggurat, and it's just cool. It's got this really cool sort of, I want to say it's symmetrically asymmetric, and there's plenty of little crevices for your fingers to fit into, and I just think the wood is just gorgeous. And he does all this by hand. It's all hand carved, amazing stuff. So I'm not using that. I just got it today. We'll use this in a future video, but I couldn't keep that to myself. Is bloodwood from South America? I don't know, Jim. Volunteer Piper went with Elizabethan mixture in his new cob. That's a fine choice. Josh, are you asking about Larry Blackett or Tamper Tantrum? So Larry does all of his business through Instagram, and Tamper Tantrum has an Etsy shop. And if you check my community page, there you'll find a link to his Etsy shop. But for Larry, I highly recommend you go on Instagram and look him up, because he's got some fantastic Halloween tampers out now. I just recently saw he's got a great pumpkin tamper, and of course you saw the Dracula tamper and the whole Brides of Dracula and everything. Really cool stuff. There's Jeff, Tamper Tantrum. Yeah, the bloodwood it's just gorgeous. It doesn't have a lot of grain, but the grain that's there really is just very deep. It has a lot of chatoyance to it. So it's nice. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it out of shot probably, but it's just nice stuff. Southeast Asia, maybe. Okay. I don't know where it comes from either, Jeff. Christian says it's prevalent in the southern hemisphere, all continents. What am I drinking, Michael? The Yuengling Hershey Chocolate Porter. It is, Artie, it is fantastic. I mean, I'm a Yuengling fan, but this stuff is really good. It won't replace regular Yuengling for me, just because it's a lot heavier, and I like a lighter. I like lagers, and that's one of the reasons I like the original Yuengling so much. But I had to try this one because, yeah, Hershey Chocolate Porter. How can you not try that? And it's great. It's just, it's probably not something I would choose over the original Yuengling. I'm going to switch over to my Matches Tribute Pipe and some Haunted Bookshop. Cliff, stop picking on Dave. Joss is enjoying the Carter Hole and the Friday Savinelli. Carter Hole is a great tobacco. Really, Jeff, it smells like cinnamon when you carve it. That's pretty cool. Genesee beer. They're still making Genesee, Josh. It's coming, Kevin. It's going nationwide. Curmudgeon Piper. Hello there, Doug. Oh, you got one too, Casey? They're really nice tampers. Like I said in the post, you know, we all have all the tampers we need, and you know, some folks said, yeah, I've got 5 of them right here. But But it's gotten to the point where I'm a little, I have to admit, I'm a little tamper crazed. I never thought I'd be this this excited about new tampers, but it's just something that, uh-oh. I know I just filled this thing. Oh well. Reserve tonight as matches. Christian's having some Solani Red Label. I don't think I've had that. Is that a Virginia? Or, oh, I guess it is a Virginia, huh? As I'm reading Josh talking about he has one real tamper and the rest are pipe tools, I pick up the pipe tool by mistake. Smoking the Ghost, hello there. It's a light arrow, gotcha, Bonapiper. Jenny Cream Ale, the Breakfast of Champions. I remember Jenny Cream Ale. And didn't they have the 12 horse ale? Oh, Big Dave, we're glad you got it off your chest, buddy. Yeah, Tony, you got to keep that cake under control. So when you close your eyes, do you see tampers, Jeff? Horse PL. So you remember it too, Jim. Oh, $1 drafts, Josh, in that city that I can never pronounce the name of. Ah, you see the wood grain when you close your eyes, Jeff. Yeah, that's what happens. At least you get to see grain. I sometimes just see ebonite rods. Shoreline Piper's having some autumn evening. Great blend. And someone's ghost in the State 7 Ellie. Rain starting in Ohio, Jim. Is that so, Josh? The world's smallest city. I didn't know that. So I just want to mention again, guys, if anybody is interested in telling some spooky stories on, or a spooky story next Friday, get in touch. CaneRodPiper@gmail.com. We got a couple of guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll all be in Zoom together, the guys that are going to tell stories, and then everybody else will be in the live stream just like we are now. And we'll all be able to see and hear you guys in Zoom, so you'll be able to talk to one another. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if I get a couple more guys, I don't have to tell a story. So. Portsmouth Piper, Red Rapparee. That's not a blend I enjoy, but I know it's enjoyed by quite a few folks. Josh, that's the world's shortest spooky story. Onion must have arrived. I missed you, but I'm seeing everybody saying hello there. So welcome, Onion. Ah, Kevin, don't say that. I won't be able to sleep tonight. Christian. Your wife must not watch the live stream. All right, Sailor, thanks for joining us. You have a great weekend, buddy. Indeed, Portsmouth Piper. Michael, that's a great way to train your palate, though. Not that you probably need to train your palate, but... Josh, cut that out. That's just terrible. Or Apple will buy up Haunted Bookshop, and we'll have to use an iPhone to be able to smoke it. Neither all briared up. My wife is upstairs and I've been exiled to the basement, so she knows where I am. And when she needs me, she will beckon. You're funny, Big Dave. It's okay, Christian. I won't use it. You title of his biography. You always crack me up, buddy. Yeah, all briared up. That's pretty much the way it works here. I shouldn't say that, though. My wife is very tolerant of me. But when she wants something done, she pretty much wants it done immediately. Thormir Elorante. Hello there. Thank you for joining us from Spain. Oh, Ryan S. asking top 3 cheesesteaks. What a typical Philly question. The places I used to enjoy when I lived in Philadelphia aren't there anymore. I've never been a fan of the big guys, the big name guys. But probably the only one that I still like is Tony Luke's, which is getting more and more well known. They've got multiple locations now and stuff, and they started after I left, I think, but I've had their cheesesteaks since I've come back, which has been 20 years now. But they're pretty good. I'll tell you, the best cheesesteak I've ever had was actually in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Jim, not a fan of Geno's. And I haven't had one at the airport, Josh, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Hey, Cliff, you have a great weekend, buddy. Enjoy the dinner. And give our best to your wife. Oh, Ron H., don't bring up Primanti's. Primanti's is a you got to experience it once, I suppose. To you guys that don't know, Primanti's is a sandwich shop in Pittsburgh that is famous for putting everything on the sandwich, including the French fries and coleslaw. And they have a pretty good menu. I mean, they've got like, I don't know, maybe 40 different sandwiches and all sorts of combinations and stuff. But if you ask them to not put the French fries on the sandwich, they get mad. Or at least they did when I was living there. I don't like their sandwiches. I don't remember what a number 2 is, Ryan, but I didn't like any of them. Ron, you don't like them either, huh? I don't think Paragon Piper likes them either. Bona Piper, that sounds tempting. I'd take you up on that volunteer Piper, but I don't think it would ship very well. Joffrey Feinberg, a garbage plate. I'm not familiar with that. You can try it all briared up, but my experience is they'll just yell at you and put them on the sandwich anyway. Cheesesteak hobo pie. That sounds good, Josh. Oh, don't be nervous, Everett. It'll be back soon. This happens every year. I remember, and I have to go back and check the emails, because I was trading emails with Johnny Ford last year. And we were referring to the Great Haunted Bookshop Shortage of 2019, and I'm pretty certain it was right around this time. So I think there's probably a spike in sales around Halloween, just because people think, oh, Haunted Bookshop Halloween, and for whatever reason C&D just doesn't prepare for it. We're going to have Jeremy Reeve on the show in January. I have rescheduled him. So we'll have to keep this in mind and ask him about it in January. In a kind, friendly way, of course. Oh, Joffrey, that sounds terrible. Ryan S., does that mean you're smoking the Matches Memorial pipe as well? It's a great pipe. I'm very happy with it. Barbecue competition team. I bet you can make some killer barbecue, Chris. Full Smoking Bar, you are late and we were talking about you. Now folks can rest easy in Stockton. Dude Rustica has lit the smoking lamp. Dodgers up 5-0 in the fifth. Michael Case, I don't think I've ever had one with Velveeta. So some places use Cheese Whiz, but most places use white American cheese. Nah, Nick, I was just talking about the Jupiter Antique Burley, and said that you were kind enough to turn me on to that. Fantastic tobacco. Meerschaum Mountaineer, thanks for joining us tonight, my friend. Have a great weekend. Is Cheese Whiz spelled with an S, or is it Cheeze? I thought they weren't allowed to call it cheese. String cheese and crackers. There you go, Tony. Portsmouth Piper, I really enjoy the Yingling's Hershey Chocolate Porter. I'm going to drink some right now. It's very good. It's a good solid porter, and you can actually taste the chocolate in it. Not too overpowering or anything, but it's there. I was saying earlier, I'm more of a fan of just a nice lager, so it's not something I'm going to drink a lot of, but I wanted to try it, and I'm glad I did. Provolone and mozzarella in your cheesesteak, huh, Christian? That's interesting. All right, Onion, you take care. Have a great weekend, my friend. Yeah, I think it's with a Z because they weren't allowed to call it cheese. Gourmet. There you go, Jim. Yeah, Ryan, absolutely. Cheese Whiz is the spam of cheese. I did not fill my letter enough. So it is with a Z. Thank you, Rick. Uh-oh. There we go. I think it's somewhat fitting that I'm lighting a Matches tribute pipe with some matches. No, Ron H., there's nothing wrong with spam. I like spam now and again. I had heard that, Kevin. Subway can't call their bread bread in England because of the sugar content. England actually has some pretty strict rules about bread that go back to times when bakers were less than scrupulous and they would put all sorts of things in the bread to bulk it up. Can't believe I'm done that already. Yeah, Nick, I'm pretty hooked on Jupiter. I think the one problem with this pipe, and I say that lightly, is that it does promote that sort of matches cadence when you're smoking, and because of that, it's just over way too quickly. I feel like I'm just getting to enjoy it, and the bowl is empty. So we'll switch pipes, and I'm going to do some more Haunted Bookshop. Casey Jones, have a good night. Great weekend. Michael Case thought Cheese Whiz was a Baptist explicative. That's funny, Michael. Oh yeah, Monty Python's spam bit is the best. I agree, Big Dave. Cast iron does something magic to spam. Although I've had some spam recently, and I think it's changed. I haven't had it in a long time. And she'd kill me if she knew I was telling you this, but my wife went a little crazy when COVID first started, and she bought all these canned goods, and she grabbed a bunch of spam, which we never have bought. And I like it, you know, so it's not that I avoided it, but it's just not something we ever bought. And so I opened a can of it, and I remember it having a lot more of like a gelatinous nature to it. Everett's not approving of the spam. I remember it sliding out of the can, and it had like a 1/4 inch of a gelatinous gunk on it that you had to scrape off. And it wasn't like that at all. Tony, I have not had Vienna sausage in ages. I don't even remember if I like it. Twinkie meat. Josh, that's exactly what I did with the spam. I made grilled cheese and spam sandwiches with it. You remember it like that, Christian? Oh, the Underwood Deviled Ham volunteer piper? Boy, you're really taking me back now. That used to be a staple when I was a kid. Pipes, etc. That sounds tasty. I love Braunschweiger and liverwurst. I hardly ever eat it because it's extremely unhealthy, and last thing in the world I need to do is eat a bunch more fat. But it's so good. Canned salmon patties. Ugh. I remember I bought a can of salmon once. I was expecting it to be like tuna, only pink. And yeah, you can get these small cans. They look like tuna fish cans, and they are pretty much, you know, flaky salmon flesh. But this, it had like it had bones in it, and it was just its skin. It was really quite gross. If you were expecting it, I'm sure it was fine. But if you were expecting it to be this nice, light, flaky fish, it was scary. There you go, Josh. You never know what you're gonna talk about here. Tofu spam is called vegetarian steak. Josh, you mean tasty cakes? That's a Philadelphia staple. Never had them for breakfast. Never liked sweet stuff for breakfast. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like sugary cereals. There you go, Ryaness. That was an interesting combination. Ah, so it's actually something different than taster cakes, cornbread patty cake thing. Nothing wrong with that, Steve. Sardines, hot sauce, and crackers. No wonder indeed, Ryan. Well, folks, we're almost at 9:30. Just want to remind you, next week is going to be the ghost stories, spooky stories. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If any of you guys want to tell a story, please get in touch with me by email, CaneRodPiper@gmail.com. I'd love to have you on. The more the merrier. And if you just want to join in the fun and hear the stories, tune in next week, same time. And again, watch Monday night. Monday night at 8 p.m. will be the premiere of my annual Halloween video, and of course it'll be available after that. But if you want to catch the premiere and join in the chat, that'll probably be a fun time as well. I'm getting really good at knowing exactly when to finish this. It's a skill. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate this. As I say often, it is the high point of my week, and it's great to see all you guys here. You all have a fantastic weekend, and if I don't see you before then, I'll see you next Friday evening. So take care, everybody.